Right, okay, so this is where I'm up to with this. I've just applied tape to the mylar, taped it down over my drawing of my face. It's not my face, the face I'm working on, over the grid. So I've applied the tape and I've just basically traced that out now. So what I'm going to do, I hope this is right, I'm now going to take this off here and cut out these individual shapes. I'm going to use this though by the side of me so I can, each time I cut out a shape, I can place it onto the area where it's going to have to go on the gel plate, if that makes sense. So I'm going to cut out each individual section, then I'm going to get my gel plate, put the grid underneath it on this light box and place them on. But I've got a feeling there's a stage I'm missing out with this. I think what I've got to do is put some ink down first, maybe. No, that wouldn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. No, what I'd need to do is put each shape down individually, do a first roll over, but there's got to be open parts to this, otherwise there's no point. You know, you've got to have a start off, haven't you? So the open parts, you know, yeah, so all this is open. Yeah, that's it. Now I've worked it out. Yeah, so all this is open. These are the shapes that will go down to form the kind of features and structure of the bone structure. So between each roll of the ink over it, each time I take up one of these pieces and roll again, that's going to form the image, if I'm thinking about it in the right way. Hope I am. Okay, so wish me luck. Okay, so here we are. I've now cut the stencil and I have got my gel plate on a sheet of Perspex, and underneath that I've got the reference picture and the grid, and I hope this doesn't cause me problems, but it seems as if the grid, I had a printed grid down on this and it's adhered to the surface, so I don't know if that's going to cause a problem at the printing stage. Hopefully not, but anyway, I've got my picture there just visible underneath the gel plate, and this is the mylar and the pieces that I cut from the mylar. So this is my kind of overall piece that will kind of come off last, and so now guess what I've got to do is put this onto the plate. Line it up. I mean, I don't suppose it's that crucial for the picture to be under it. If I press that down, hopefully that's now nice and kind of stuck on there. So what I can now do, because initially, I've got to confess with this, initially when I was thinking about it before I cut it, I was thinking that what I'd do is put this down and do the first roll and then dry it off and put, but then that doesn't work, because then these bigger areas I'd have to stick with whatever colour I decided to put down. I don't want to do it like that. So I've watched Josh Bowes, which is where this idea sort of comes from. He's kind of set me a project to create an end kind of piece. Anyway, I won't go too far into that here, but anyway, this gel printing method kind of comes from him, and the way he does it is he puts all of these bits of the stencil, he puts in to begin with. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to rebuild everything I've cut out of this. I'm just going to place everything back in. Hope I've got this right anyway, you know. In any case, you know, for me, if I'm learning to do anything, it's in the doing of it that I learn. I don't really take it in if I'm just reading it or even watching someone else do it. I have to kind of do it myself before, you know, I create this sort of new neural pathways that allows me to get an understanding of something, you know. Telling me about it is one thing, and I can sort of, you know, I can grasp it at the time, but then, you know, if you were to say, right now, do it from what I've just told you verbally, I'd be lost, you know. So I need to actually do it. I need to actually physically do it. Right. And this is really quite good fun, you know. I've really quite enjoyed doing this, to be honest, because it's a sort of process that you can really kind of lose yourself in. Perhaps I should have cut that shape out. I'm thinking maybe I should have done that. Why didn't I do that? Right, I'm going to do that, because that's going to bug me if I don't. Bear with. Okay. That's better. Although it's occurred to me that maybe I've made this too intricate, which is typical of me. I find it very hard to do simplicity. You know, it's just in my nature to over detail things, overthink things perhaps, which has its own problems in other areas. We won't go into that. Right, let's press that down. I love it that this stuff, it's got the tape on the outside on this side, but underneath is the mylar, and it sort of just kind of adheres itself to the gel plates, which is really nice. I can see how it works now. Whereas before I was thinking, well, how does it stick? How does it stay in place? You know. But now I'm watching Josh's Josh demonstrate it as well. Makes sense. So yeah, so I'm gonna put all the pieces back. I'm aware that I'll need to open some of it to actually start the printing process. Come on, go. Quite satisfying really, because it's like doing a jigsaw. I like anything really that takes me back to being a kid, because I am generally just a big kid really. Okay, so worried about those little eye pieces. I guess you can just keep pressing them down. So that's the whole thing kind of rebuilt. I don't need that there anymore. So the next part to this is I'm going to have to decide on colours, and then which areas of these to take out to apply the first layer of colour. So I'm going to have to go away and have a little think about that, I think, and get my paints sorted out. And yeah, and then I'll be ready to do that. Okay.